Almost all of my lives is in this room. You could look around, you could see the same aesthetics. Every now and then I do one in the basement. I used to do them in the basement in the beginning, right? Now I do them in my room. And most of y'all don't know, but I stay in damn near all day, every day. This is called the Cave of the Ancients, where if you study, just go on Google and say, why do priests stay stuck in the cave? You can't do this work and be out there fucking around, dicking around with dumb people. Fuck around and get took out the mission before the coup de grace, right? Yeah, Detroit's significant. That's why Noble Drew Ali and Elijah Muhammad set camps up there. And Marcus Garvey had a UNIA division there. They knew what they was doing. But a lot of us, we don't pay attention to who telling us the information. Remember, a dog to carry a bone to bring a bone. Dog will bring a bone and carry a bone. They come tell you some bullshit. They gonna go tell a motherfucker some bullshit about you. Right? But ain't nobody gonna deal with no receipts though. Ain't nobody gonna deal with no accurate information. I'm gonna put some accurate information out on your ass. You gonna put some speculation out. Can't read how to, like R. Kelly. Everybody think he a pedophile, but he ain't in there for pedophilia. He in there for racketeering. That don't even make sense to me. Right? Then Bill Cosby case, then all of the girls that was reading the script on the panel, but didn't nobody notice it. Any forensic profiler picked that shit apart in 30 seconds. But the average person never studied forensic profiling. Nobody don't have time for that shit. I'm the only stupid enough to make time to study forensic profiling just because I wanted to know how it worked. What's the mechanics of that shit? Personality traits and disposition of people, learning how to read characters on a higher level than the average Joe. If you're going to be the motherfucking king, the chief, if you're going to be the dog in the front of the damn race, right? If you're going to win the identity ad, you at least need to be the most prepared dog in the race. You don't got to be the biggest dog. You don't got to be the baddest dog. But you definitely sure got to be the most prepared. You got to be more prepared to win than everybody else is prepared to lose. Because when they lose, it's going to be toxic to their soul. Because they realize when you try to cross the righteous, they come back to bite you in your ass. You keep poking a mean dog with a sharp stick and you wonder how your ass get bit. Don't keep running up on no gorilla cage, shaking the goddamn cage. He might rip the bars off and snatch a hole in your ass. Don't do that to people. You need to know who you be dealing with. Sometimes being a priest is by birthright. You're a natural priest by nature. And others are fascinated by the priesthood and they join it on their own accord. Look, I ain't even on the tack. That's the crazy part. I ain't even on the tack. This shit means so little to me that it fucking meter is not even moving. I could have sit here and did 2 hours of receipt dropping. Explaining knockarounds from the Alexa K. Tyler knock to the ISIS Wisdom fraud to Laura London to Nipsey Hussle. I could have did all of that code flipping. For what? They lost. They lost. That's all. They lost. They ass over with. It's done. They lost. We know they came from Europe and we know we came from here. We know that they told us slavery was here coming from Africa so that they can replace us by telling us we not from this land and I'm walking around Mississippi clay dirt in human form. Make that shit make sense to me. Right? So, here, I had no mercy for the invaders. On the galactic chessboard, they took up the position of white. White is the ones who initiate the attack. They came from Europe. The archbishop degree was held by the Pope, right? The royal degree of the queen was held by Elizabeth, where she was a cat's paw, while the real queen hid in Switzerland and with her king. And the king was never seen on the board because they are a moon. They want to be unknown. The reason why I say that, because there is an actual portal in Arizona that comes straight out in Giza. And if you go, you'll know when you get close to it, because all these ones with black suits and black ties on white shirts gonna come from out of nowhere. Did you just come from? They there, securing the area to keep you from finding out. That's why he said that Arizona is the back to Africa, the back of Africa. It's because it's a portal. It's a portal. I've been saying this. It's a portal in Arizona that goes directly to Giza, where you don't have, it's like walking from one room into the next. You're on the other side of the goddamn planet, right? And I want you to know that. I don't got no problem with telling you to, because half of us ain't gonna go try to find it no way. And the other half, only a couple of them gonna go. The rest of them just gonna talk about it. Yep. So the Tina Turner, that was another flip. And that was an Oracle flip. And then the Oracle flipped a light bulb that had a computer chip in it. How do a light bulb have a computer chip? A circuit board. That's a listening device, right? So it's an eavesdrop off of a light. They trying to slide in, and it's not going to happen, right? And the Oracle got the golden eye. The golden eye is the one who clearly can see what they see. You know, Jim Brown was one of the chiefs. He was a guerrilla clan. He from off the same clan as Big Tookie, but he got a what you call a secondary clan, the Browns. The Browns was the biggest clan in the Midwest. That's why the Cleveland Indians and the Cleveland Browns, it's the Brown Indians, right? And they went to fight the Gullah Wars, and they were intermingling with other tribes, and Jim Brown just came out a Brown that fall under the Guerrilla Clan. And so this is why he was strong as a fucking bull, right? So just a lot of this stuff, y'all, if I had like a dry erase board, I'd be up to showing y'all all kind of shit. But just remember, when y'all see somebody trying to tear somebody down, find out if they got a motive first before you take sides, right? I'm in here minding my own goddamn business. If I'm a predator, why am I in the same goddamn spot, right? And they coming to me a predator. Make that shit make sense with your smart ass. I'm the predator, but you coming to me. And I'm a predator. And you coming to me. Clean across the country. To me. Y'all just can't think out of your... Well, that just don't make no sense. I am a predator, though. I prey on predators. Them rotten ones. And if somebody is not a dirtbag, I'm going to tell you they're not a dirtbag. That's why you'll never hear me say nothing bad about Ellie. She say, she a vice lord. She supposed to left bump me if she's trying to bump me straight. Right? She's trying to get me a message. I'm going to get the message, and it ain't going to take me long to pick it up. Right? And Big Mama sent her to do something. She did it. All these other motherfuckers just talking. They just talking behind somebody without knowing what they talking about. You can't talk behind people that come with half-ass information. I really try not to look into Jamie Foxx's situation because I really don't want to know. In the modern sense of will we need an armed forces? Probably not. But will we maintain some type of military training for the boys and the men? Probably so. We probably will have some type of military style training for females too, just to have the training. It's better to be a warrior in the garden than the gardener in the war. You got to remember that. So you got to always be mentally prepared for combat and hope that you never have to use what you prepared for. It's better to be in that position. It's better to have money and not need it than to need it and not to have it. It's better to get caught with a pistol when you don't need it than not get caught with it when you do need it. So you got to learn how to put things in their proper context. Just because we might not be fighting war, don't mean that we won't have warrior training. Something about warrior training also is character development. And a lot of people don't know that. Emmett Till's tribal name was Chief Littlehorn. And he was supposed to be the one that whistled the battle cry. That's why they killed him before he became an adult and figured out who he was. Go back and watch the movie. Some niggas came and got Emmett Till and blamed it on some pink people. They was the Black Hand. Right? Don't forget, watch these posts I'm going to put up. I'm going to put some posts up. I'm going to show y'all. They had Negro KKK members before they had pale skin KKK. That came from Barcelona, Spain with the Tudors. That was part of their conquest mechanism. So when we overran Ellis Island with half of Europe, right, in order to overrun these institutions that they was blocking us out of with pale faces, so we sent a whole bunch of pale face derelicts in there that we cleaned them up. In lack of a better way to say it, we cleaned them up. But they went in there and they got all that shit out, and some of them took over the KKK, right? And now it's a primarily modern so-called white man, pale-skinned European organization. But that's not what they started out as. It was a secret Masonic order. The Klan is directly tied to the secret societies that fall under what we know as Adam Weishaupt's Illuminati, more Zionist Jewish affiliation. All that shit was created to just usurp us. They lost, we won. Right? I want to hear motherfucker guillotine concerto, orchestra of guillotines. I want to rap to the beat of the guillotines dropping on. But they want to do shit like firing squads. No, I want the head to roll. I want it to fall in the basket and pop out the basket and roll down to somebody in the front row feet. Public execute their ass. Same way they used to do us when we used to rebel from them trying to tell us what to do with our shit on our shit. They came in our house and told us what to do. And half of us still want to go along to get along. We with that shit. Half of us can go along, get along. You gotta remember, leaders are not common in the community. Leaders are not common. Leaders is few and far between. Don't nobody want to sign up for that job, especially no leader for us. Don't nobody want to sign up for that job. All our leaders got the same consequence: disgraced and murdered, or murdered then disgraced. Or disgraced, murdered, and disgraced again. It don't matter. But why would you want to lead somebody when that's the only result we getting? Somebody got a different result somewhere. I ain't participating. People. Yeah. They send all, look, this is what they do. If they can't send a nigga in there to mislead you and give you some false information, they're going to try to send an old rotten in there to pull you and drag you down. It's the same tactic. This shit never changes. I don't have nothing to do with Grandmaster Jay. I don't know that man. I don't know nothing about him. All I know is he was Rise of the Moors and his ass was locked up. And if y'all was really doing what you said you was doing, you should have been out. That's all I got to say about that. Because that's not my business. That had nothing to do with me. I'm not a Moor. I'm motherfucking Mississippi clay dirt walking. Yeah. So, I mean, look, a leader is going to find a way for the most amount of people to reap the greatest benefit. A leader is going to fight for, that's not going to fight for him. You got to think about the audacity of a leader to fight for that definitely won't fight for him. They will fight his ass for fighting for them. They will tear him down for trying to get them what's rightfully theirs. This is what leaders got to go through. That's why don't nobody want to be our leader. Don't none of the chiefs want the position. That shit is birthrighted on us, thrust up on us by the laws of nature. Nobody want that shit. What you want me to say about Mark Christopher? He said what the fuck he said. They shit closed. That's it. He right, they wrong. He told them, he put them on notice. Just a matter of time before it's carried out. All of this stuff is in the public domain. All this stuff is in the public domain. Ain't none of this shit no secret. We all watching this shit play out, but everybody can't see it because they occupied with, I got to go get my daughter some Pampers. I need to go pick my babies up from school. I got to be at work at 6:30 in the morning. I don't gotta do none of that. All I gotta do is sit right here and keep telling y'all where to look at until y'all done seen enough to know that I know what I'm talking about. I'm the bad of a born without even trying to be. I didn't want this shit. I didn't pick this shit. Pick me. I didn't pick this shit. They just said I was solid sevenfold to the world, blow, so you got to step up and knock a homer for us, because you tonight, number 7, been stepping across the board. Now you're going to flip they 7s and make they 7s L's and our L7, because we hitting jackpots around this bitch. Cha-ching. Ka-cha-ching. Right? So when they can't make you perform the way they want you to perform, they have a full-blown tantrum. Call you everything but the child of God. Have a full-fledged tantrum on you. Falsely accuse you about some shit. Pick somebody else's shit up and run with it. And don't none of them motherfuckers know you for real, for real. Right? So when you be wondering why, go back and look. Who took Garvey down? Some niggas. Who took Du Bois down? Some niggas. Who took down the Mau Mau? Some niggas. Jomo Kenyatta punk ass. Right? Who took down Patrice Lumumba? Some niggas. Who took down Maurice Bishop? Some niggas. All of the great leaders that rise up with powerful messages of liberation, some niggas killed them and blame Whitey. But they didn't kill him from a distance. They killed him with their own hand, but we all blame Whitey. Who the fuck is Whitey? Whitey ain't even white. Fred Hampton's a nigga. Nigga drew look, that nigga went the extra mile. He actually drew the layout of the insides of the apartment. He wouldn't even make them motherfuckers go down to the city hall and pull the record. He drew it for them. They didn't even have to go down. They didn't even have to make a call to city hall and say, yeah, I need the blueprint for the apartment buildings on this street. Send me the blueprint over. And they'd have had a courier get on a bike, drive 4 blocks, and nope, that nigga drew a picture. The nigga drew a picture. This is how his house is laid out. This X is where he's sleeping at. Right? Shout out to Big Flintstone, the young chairman in the house. Flintstone, I met him in when he was fighting a case where they say he bombed a Korean store. And I met him in Cook County Jail right before about 6 months before they extradited me back to Michigan for my case. And I had to talk with him. And I was like, I sure love to help this brother, but he just talk entirely too goddamn much. He don't want to hear nothing nobody else saying. He just want to hear himself talk. That's what I was thinking at the time. But I didn't even take into consideration he was a youth, a child that was thrust into a grown-ass man's position early in his life, being the son of Fred Hampton. And when I really sat down and analyzed that shit, I was like, damn, Flintstone, I can't even imagine you got a father with some iconic status like that, and now you got to try to figure out what move to make next on this path to liberation and righteousness. And happy birthday to King David. It's a little late, but King David, king of all kings, which was the chief of all chiefs on this land, they came over there with that king shit. We had chiefs. They came over here with princes and nobles, right? We had chiefs and scout chiefs. Developing chiefs was called scout chiefs until they got what's called a full war bonnet. Then you had they was war chiefs when they had a full war bonnet. You can only get that given to you from your tribe if you're a general, a military-minded individual, and you can use whatever strategies of military that you deem is functional for victory, and nobody can't say nothing to you because they trusted you to give you the war bonnet. They got to let you you got to live or die by your decision. You have to stand on that decision. You have to stand on that decision, and what right, wrong, or indifferent, you the one have to live with it. Yeah. So the chiefs that had what we call the dragon bonnet, right? Those were the highest chiefs you could get. You got what's called a dragon bonnet, which is, it looked like a war bonnet, but the feathers run all the way down your back onto the ground and drag behind you like a long dragon tail. Those are the highest of the high chiefs. They only call them in times of great turmoil. We was in times of great turmoil, so they said, fuck the bullshit. Go shoot straight for the top, cock ever born, and we gonna see what his name gonna be in this lifetime. It wasn't Nimrod this time. It wasn't Hanuman this time. It wasn't Sun Wukong this time. It wasn't Quetzalcoatl this time. It wasn't Kulkulakan this time. This time, it was Rod Hayes, a.k.a. Morpheus Mysticus Magus, emissary of light, redeemer of the righteous, the terror to the scourge of the earth. In the words of Genghis Khan, you must be guilty of great sins. Had you not been, Big Mama wouldn't have put me on your motherfucking ass. Y'all must be some rotten motherfuckers, or y'all wouldn't see me. When y'all see me, it was some real foul-ass motherfuckers hiding somewhere, doing the dirt. And it was based in the conjure, because the only thing, the conjure is my primary function. Make everybody close their conjures out, right? Portia Green was the one had the shattered mirror spell. Bitch, close that shit out. She closed it out, right? But all of they not closing it out because it's the right thing to do. They closing it out because I'm binding them up with the truth. I put so much truth around them and make them agree to do what's right so hard to now they can't back down. They have to do what's right, and that's close that conjure, right? So shattering that mirror on the crossroads to break up the daughters of Mama Water, the Sybil priestess, and try to make them all go schizophrenic. I see that shit. That shit don't work on me. I'm not one of the priestesses. I'm firstborn of the earthborn, parthogenic son of the great mother. Ain't nothing you motherfuckers can do. Put your hands up, come out backwards, and bow down and put your hands behind your head, lock your fingers like you finna bow down to the police, bitch. Cause I'm just gonna tell the truth. Mama say just stand in position and right and tell the truth. Shame the goddamn devil. Put his motherfucking ass on the level, right? And when you put him on the level, you level him off. Man, look. The tribes is back. That's all y'all need to know. The tribes is back. These motherfuckers came over here with that bullshit. Now they getting sent back somewhere. I don't give a fuck where they go. They can't stay here. I don't give a fuck if they leave the planet. I don't give a fuck if the motherfuckers leave the solar system, the galaxy, whatever the fuck they do, they not staying over here. They getting the fuck from over here. We didn't have no prisons till they built them over here. We didn't need them. Why we didn't need prisons? Because we raised our children to be proper and responsible adults. And these motherfuckers come over, they been to turn Big Mama house into a plantation, stole the property under a sharecropper agreement, and everybody fell for that slave narrative bullshit. There's two kinds of niggas. Them fraud motherfuckers and these real motherfuckers. And these real motherfuckers ain't scared to kill motherfuckers, but we'd rather heal motherfuckers, if you understand what I'm saying. Some of them rotten motherfuckers will kill a motherfucker before they heal a motherfucker because that's how they operate. That's how they roll. Right? I ain't want no parts of this shit. My mama said, you ain't training for nothing. I said, Mama, I don't know what the fuck these people's problem is, but they really stuck. She said, you figured out you smart. My mama ain't that goddamn smart. Shit. Oh, you smart enough. God ain't gonna put no more on you. I ain't know she was talking about herself. God ain't gonna put no more on you. In other words, son, I'm not gonna tell you to do more than you capable of doing. I know you capable of getting the job done, so just go ahead and do what you gotta do to figure out the problem. And get your sisters a shit. So, I don't give a fuck. My give a fuck meter don't move very often. Right? And I've been trying to tell people, look, this is what we got to do. Now, all we got to do is wait. All we got to do now is wait. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Right? So, sit back. Let these motherfuckers continue, this system continue to fall. When it's get done falling, our shit come online. When our shit come online, structures is going to be different. Right? And the people that they was villainizing, like El Chapo, he the fucking chief. El Chapo was the chief. His son is the chief in absentia. His dad ain't there. By proxy. He's filling in for the old man. They down there fucking with him. Okay, you got away with Chapo. You not finna do it twice. They not gonna keep falling for the same banana in the tailpipe. Chapo didn't even know what's going on till he got to Ad Max and talked to Larry Hoover and Angel Bay, and he was like, oh, fuck. I didn't know that. Shit, I didn't know Larry Hoover knew Spanish. Shit. But apparently he do. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. If you read the manifesto, the man was 100% right, everything he said. But because they villainized him and drew a picture of him and turned his family against him, they rendered him ineffective in accomplishing the goal to stop this motherfucking rogue system from taking advantage of the people. He's seen what he's seen. He ain't gonna stay in there. You not gonna keep, nope. Ted Kaczynski gonna be walking right with. They be like, how the fuck he get out? He was fighting for your dumb ass. That's how he got out. Right? It's a whole lot of them in there that don't look like us, that was fighting for us, that's political prisoners based on their stance to support the organic people of this land that look like me to regain our shit. And they don't look like us. They're Europeans that went in, infiltrated, got the information, found out, and decided to give aid and assistance to righteous brothers in a righteous endeavor to reclaim what's rightfully theirs by the law of right in the territory that's called the land of God. They don't call this motherfucking God's country for no apparent reason. Like, that's just something they just decided to call it. It's beautiful land all over earth, but this God's country. Think about that shit. It's beautiful lands all over earth, but America is God's country. The great melding pot where everybody can come, send your refuse, send your orphans, your neglected, your downtrodden, your rejected. And we took in some motherfuckers that had problems that we wasn't prepared for. When they came, this is how they got down on us. They royalty blood rights outranked the royalty that was reigning at the moment under the papal orders of the Unum Sanctums. And the doctrine of discovery and the white man's burden being utilized as protocols of Zion and morals and dogma to subjugate us and make us, give us misdirection, lead us to believe that the motherfucking people that's here came from somewhere else. Right? We all supposed to came from Africa. Motherfucker, I asked Mama Earth where I come from, and she said, you Mississippi clay dirt walking. I asked my mama, was we ever slaves in our family? She said, baby, that shit don't got nothing to do with us. I asked my daddy, he said, no, we were sharecroppers. We owned land, but we had to go to Mr. Shackelford in order to get the supplies to farm the land, because they didn't know back then what we know now. We know back then the reason they were sharecroppers is because if they caught you saving seeds for next year, they burn your barn down. So you got to buy them every year. You couldn't stock up and store your own seeds. This is how they killed the sharecroppers. They used the sharecropping contracts to foreclose on properties because they was giving them absorbent interest rates on the sharecropping. It's the same shit they do to record artists under the system of Hollywood and the actors. They come in, they use their skill set, their talent, and then they steal their masters so they don't never have to pay them and leave all of the artists broke and destitute. Now, if you notice, the pattern does not restrict just to the artists that look like us, right? It's just that some of them was more valuable, so they gave them better contracts, right? Like when them niggas killed Sam Cooke had it, he was the first, SARS record was the first black artist, as they called him, to start up his own record label. He set it up with two Greeks, and the two Greeks end up hooking up with a guy named Bobby Womack. And Bobby Womack, that nigga come to Sam Cooke funeral. This is audacity, right? This is how the Dirty Moors operate, though. He come to Sam Cooke funeral, dressed in Sam Cooke suit, driving Sam Cooke car with Sam Cooke's wife. And then I think it was like some months after that, they got married, right? And then he went on tour. He got caught in Chicago. Sam Cooke brothers pistol whipped him to his knees, right? Then he wasn't done fucking Sam Cooke yet. He still got one more play to play. So when he ended up getting divorced from Sam Cooke's ex-wife, which is now his wife, because he was fucking Sam Cooke's daughter, trying to get in that family line. Dirty bastard. But this is how they did so they can get his masters. They wanted to get, so the Greeks wanted to control of the record company, and Bobby Womack wanted his wife and his daughter. Apparently, because that's what happened. So you look at it in retrospect, you could say, well, that's what happened. Right? But this is a commonplace in Hollywood. It's always a motherfucker that look like us that they send to do dirt to us in Hollywood. Right? That's why Jimmy Henchman bitch ass is the one who pushed the button on Tupac at Quad Studios, and he said it. Queen for a Day. Go look it up. I posted that shit too. Them Dirty Moors. All you think he named this shit Tsar Entertainment. The Tsars is the old black Russian families. Right? Tsar Nicholas was the cat's paw or the figurehead of the royal family of Khazarians, which the term Tsar is the root word to, who was the Indo-Caucasoid they was an admixture of blackamoors and Caucasoid from the Caucasus. And when you say Caucasoid, you don't even know these motherfuckers had pink skin and afros. Go back and do your Caucasian research. The original Caucasian had from melanated brown to high yellow skin with afros. The original Caucasians, the cave dwellers. That's because the description they gave us was that They was bred over a 600-year period by Yaqub and his agents. Yaqub agents was niggas, Moors. Yaqub is Jacob. Jacob is the underminer. The underminer is the supplanter. The supplanter is the one coming to replace that which was already planted. We firmly rooted Mississippi redwood to Florida cypress to juniper trees to motherfucking weeping willows to motherfucking oaks. We all over this bitch. They chopped all our trees down and sent somebody named Johnny Appleseed to plant seeds for apple trees in this place. We don't have no problem with apples, but goddamn it, couldn't he plant some plums and some goddamn peaches too? Right? So when you're looking at this shit, you're looking at the story the elders tell you, do the layover. It's some basic comparative analysis. When they say something, they don't always mean follow exactly what I said. Get the keys out of this shit. Unlock these gates and let the motherfucking people free. That's what we trying to tell you. Look, Noble Drew Ali was the first Moorish American. Ain't no doubt about it, he was the first Moorish American, and he hated Moors more than anybody else. Why you say that, Rod? Cause he said you motherfuckers wasn't gonna make it. He said he could count the hand. Out of all of the Moors he met, apparently he only met 2 of them that he thought could probably find some kind of benefit to being over here and develop into some kind of proper human. Them rotten, blood-sucking motherfuckers. So he say, the only thing that'll surprise me is if a Moor do right. Who the fuck he talking about? The only thing that'll surprise me is if a Moor do right. Who is he talking about? Why would he be surprised if a Moor do right? So he expect them motherfuckers to do some dirt somewhere. Everywhere they go. He even told them, keep your wrongdoing out the eyesight of the pup. That means stop going around fucking with people. See, you get a dirty Moor nationality card, he goes flashing in everybody's face. You give a righteous Moor his self-identity back, fuck that card, I'm in your face. That's the difference. See, the dirty Moor, he'll throw a flag up, right? But if that flag hit the ground, you can't let the flag hit the ground. It's the law of the flag. So people keep asking me to comment on this nigga in the truck with the red flag, talking about he a Moor and he's sovereign. And then he pulled off in his pickup truck and turned the corner. If what he was saying was true, at the point where he got out to get that flag off the ground, he lost the war. That battle was over with when that flag hit the ground according to the law of the flag. That's a surrender in war or a defeat if the flag hit the ground. So and definitely the flag hit the ground. So when he made that left turn, y'all don't see what happened when the police made that left turn behind his ass. They wasn't finna go out there and slaughter his ass in front of all them people. But you better believe that nigga got his ass arrested around the corner. They ain't scared of him. I don't know who the Negro is. He just was sitting in his white pickup truck holding the Moorish flag out the window, telling them they don't got no jurisdiction to say nothing to him. Or probably just a traffic stop, and they was like, why is this nigga clowning like this? And they was standing there looking. They looking at the people around, and this dude clowning. They probably thought he had a mental disorder or something because he sounded like he was slightly off his ticker to to them. The way they responded to him like he was a mental patient. And he dropped the flag. Then he pulled up the truck and he got out to get the flag off the ground. If he was standing on his law of the flag as a Moor, he would have knew that when that flag hit the ground, he lost the battle. They can seize him now. I don't know what happened when he bent the corner because they didn't follow him. The police followed him, but the people that was filming didn't follow to see the conclusion. But I guarantee you they locked his motherfucking ass up. I can guarantee you that. Drop that flag. Nigga, imagine being over there in Iraq and they tell you if you drop the flag that you gonna be a prisoner of war. And then you drop the flag. You can't drop the flag. It's the law of the flag. Look that shit up. Don't believe me. All that shit was deception at its highest. It probably was staged if they let him go for real. It probably was staged the whole time. You see, the rise of the Moors was riding around dressed like they was ready for war.